Hi. So I am going to try this again because it stopped recording on me, but I am doing a web blog to talk about some of the things I didn't talk about in my um, regular blog on 52 weeks, 52 churches. So we're just going to go with that. First of all, not much to tell you about the United Church of Christ. That was a really great service. I think I was pretty thorough about what happened there. That was before I got my structure in on how I was doing these. So um, that was just kind of vomiting what happened there. Not my favorite blog, but one of my favorite services that I've been to. The people there were really nice. They practically begged me to come back. I don't know if they're hard up for money or if they just genuinely liked me. I don't know. But one of them asked me, would I be coming back? And I said, no, you're probably not going to see me for a year. And they were kind of sad at that. But I explained to them what I was doing, and they kind of got it. Um, so second week was St. Paul's Lutheran. There's really not anything of note that I should include that I didn't include in the blog, so we're just going to skip over that one. Berean Baptist Church, on the other hand, there's what we're going to talk about. Um, I have my notes here from that service that I'm looking at. One thing was the chapel smelled really good, but it smelled like incense, and I know that they don't use incense at a Baptist church. So I don't know what it was. It might have been someone's cologne or whatever, but it was really nice, and I was trying to identify it the whole service. Um, the dude who sang the solo for the worship service, and he was really into it like this, and just enunciate and say the words with conviction, and um, I don't know. I have no proof of this. And maybe I'm just stereotyping, but he seemed like he was clearly on the DL. Um, and I could be wrong. I have no proof. I may, this may be totally off base, but he reminded me of a lot of guys like myself, and he seemed to be like one of those people I would see on, certain websites or apps with, the screen name, DL Daddy or something, or, with words discreet on the bottom. So, yeah. That was entertaining to say the least. So yeah, the pastor was very passionate. I mean, he was pounding the pulpit literally quite a bit and screaming. I think I may have mentioned that in the blog. The pastor talked about at one point his struggle with the junk, and I'm like, junk? And yeah, so he was talking about junk food, but I was sitting there thinking, talking about heroin, is that because that's what the junk means to the outside world? I don't know if you know that. But yeah, so I had this image of this pastor holding like the spoon over the candle and like taking the needle and and then just injecting, having this little adventure. Anyway, um, I also got the impression this pastor kind of has his little absolute monarchy that he loves very much. Just with his whole private school and everything. And yeah, that's really all with that. Next week was St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's was cool. I tried to keep a program from each church I went to, and I know I kept one from the United Church of Christ and the Lutheran Church. They're somewhere around here. I can't find them. But I did have the one from St. Joseph's, so that's there. And while I was at St. Joseph's, I lit a candle because, that's what you do. And I bought myself a rosary. So this is the first rosary that I've had in a few years, and it's got a pretty little crucifix there. And the medal, that's usually the Virgin Mary, is the Christ with the Holy Heart. And on the back is the Madonna figure. So, yeah, pretty rosary. Had to have it. Um, and oh, also, the goodie bag from Berean Baptist Church. So yeah, the Dove chocolate's gone. That was gone in like 5 minutes. But oh, I think this no, this was in the goodie bag. It's just a welcome and a little bit of history about the church. Um, as well as another welcome and like a personal letter from the pastor talking about the church. Um, this pamphlet here, which is called "Are We Saved by Grace After All We Could Do?" And if you want a lovely little biblical guilt trip, this is it. I love it because the pages are just filled with text talking about how awful you are. Like this one talks about grace and all that, but there's like works and all that, and let's see. We are unworthy of grace is one of the um, one of the little things. And what I love is that next to the guilt, there are all these beautiful pictures of landscapes, as if to soften the blow of guilt after guilt. I love it. Yeah, and here's the pretty little blue bow that tied it all up. And there's still the Dove chocolate wrappers in there, but they're not. I'm not taking them out because that was the best part of this whole thing. Berean Baptist Church also sent me um, this letter in the mail because I was, you know, stupid enough to give them my address. But the letter is on very nice paper. It doesn't show up on camera. This is like good quality paper. This is like 30 cents a sheet paper. Wasted on me. And it's just basically an invitation talking about how, thanks for coming and we hope that you come back to try to find God and all that, and may God draw you close to Him, and as He draws, may He also bless. And then it's personally signed by the pastor. Not a stamp. That's or a print. That's his actual signature on there with pen. Again, wasted on me, but I enjoyed the sentiment. Um, so yeah. And then this week was the Pentecostal service, and that was weird. Let's see, very kind. They gave us goodie bags. This is the goodie bag from the Pentecostal church. Not as fun as the goodie bag from Berean. And it's just basically a little welcome to the church and some information about contacting the pastor and all that. Nothing big. Some tissues for some reason, I think because people were crying in the service. Notepad. It came with a pen. The pen is in my bedroom right now. I'm not gonna go get it. So yeah, that. And there was some candy in there. It was kind of gross candy, kind of like candy you'd find in your grandmother's candy dish that hasn't been touched since 1994. So yeah, not a good. I gave the candy to my friend. He ate it. But yeah, and what else? They gave us goodie bags. Members seemed disturbingly in love with Jesus. I know I mentioned that in the blog, but I just want to say that they were like up there. Oh, Jesus, I'm in your arms, Jesus, Jesus, yes, Jesus, oh, Jesus, oh, Jesus. I mean, I am not exaggerating. That is what they were doing. That is not exaggerated in any way. They were into Jesus. I mean, disturbingly into Jesus. Then whatever. If that helps them, yeah. I didn't mention in the blog, and there was a Thai guy in the congregation. Um, they said he could only read in Thai, and they tried to make him talk, and he couldn't. He didn't talk. I don't know how much of that he's understanding or whatever, but yeah. They presented him with a Thai Bible, and that was nice. There was a testimony. I mentioned that. I did not mention they do a food. They have a food pantry, and they do community service and all that, and they have this food pantry open every Wednesday, and anyone in the community can come and take from it. I did like that about them. let's see, there's the pastor with the demons. I think I hammered that demon thing home. And then a bunch of notes from the service, and all my notes up at the top says sermon makes no sense. And then please let it end. This sermon makes no sense. And then just a bunch of notes that are all really disoriented. Yeah. Um, Interesting service. Um, so this is really kind of changing my whole experience on religion. Not changing any of my beliefs really, but it's really eye-opening. I've been taking a Bible with me to the services. It's the Bible that I've read cover to cover a couple times. My New American Bible. This is the Bible that was given to me in my RCIA class, which are classes you take to become Catholic. So yeah, this Bible's been pretty worn out. Um, Personally, I'd like to recommend this Bible to anyone who actually wants to study the Bible in depth. Translation's not the best in the world, just because it's like dumbed down, simple language. But every book begins with a description of where the book came from, with archaeological evidence, where it came from, who possibly wrote it, and it's filled with diagrams and historical charts and stuff and things like this, which is an explanation of how the ancient Jews saw the world. So clearly, it's not a literal thing for us to interpret because the Jews saw the world differently. Just a good Bible in general. If you can, get yourself a copy; they're really good. And I have a few. I took this one to Berean just because I knew they were King James only. Probably take this to the Mormon Church too. I don't have my Mormon scriptures. I have no idea whatever happened to them. I don't know. So, but Mormons do King James only. A few other churches do too, so this will come in handy. Paid a buck for this. This next week, I'm going to the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall. In my blog that I'm putting up tomorrow, that I've already written, I mentioned that the New World Translation and sort of the dubious thing, and I mentioned I read it. It's proof. I have the damn thing. I have read it side by side with the New American Bible, King James. I had another one that was a New Revised Standard, but I gave that to a friend because he joined a church, and that's the one they use, so I just gave it to him. And yeah, crap translation. With it. And then I also have this one that I might take sometime. This is the New Testament, and John. It's written in the oldest Greek manuscripts we have, and then underneath it is a word-for-word translation of the Greek. And on the side is a New Revised Standard version of the text. So this has been invaluable to me in studying and proving that this is bad translation of the Bible. So that's good. And this one is the Jewish Publication Society's Tanakh, Torah, Writings, Prophets. That's what that stands for. Tanakh, it's what they call their Bible. They also call it the Bible, but it's the Old Testament, the one that Protestants would be used to. And this one's cool because it's written in both the Hebrew text and their English translation of it that the Jewish Publication Society did. Good one. Anyway, I'm also painting. This inspired my love of iconography again. So I am doing this icon right now of the Virgin Mary just for fun. It's turning out better than I expected. I do know how to do this more traditionally, but I like tradition as an inspiration, and then going from there. So don't sit there and go, that's not a real icon, because I know it's not a real icon. It is an icon, but it's not an orthodox icon, whatever. Anyway, that's the end of this blog, so have a great day, and see you next time.